Hello, language and life-loving friends, and welcome to Creative Teaching and Learning Ideas with Patrick and Gable. I'm Patrick, and this fine furry gentleman is Master Gable. So, before we begin, let's take a moment to arrive and, as they say in the mindfulness world, set our intentions. So, what will you commit yourself to today on our journey of mindfulness? First, let's close your eyes, take a deep breath, and inhale into your sweet soul, and then release it with joy. Good. Okay. Why have you come here today? Is it to hang out with Mr. Gable, or partake in some mindfulness activities, or a little bit of both? For whatever reason you came, we guarantee that you're going to have a lot of fun today in the ideas and activities related to mindfulness. The title of our talk today is Creating a Healthy Spirit, Mindfulness Ideas and Activities for Teachers. And I want to give a big shout out to Wisconsin TESOL, to all the beautiful members and the wonderful organization. Thanks. I'd like to begin with a quote from Sadhguru that I think epitomizes the whole idea of mindfulness, and that is, life is a moment-to-moment dialogue with the universe. Let me say it again. Life is a moment-to-moment dialogue with the universe. You can pause the video and think about it for a little while, and then continue with us as we move on. So here's the program that we have set for you today. First, our goal is for you to befriend your breath and some ideas in mindfulness. Okay. First, I'm going to give you some earth-shattering facts, which are kind of problems, and then I'm going to introduce and define mindfulness, which is hopefully going to solve those problems, and I'll give you some principles of mindfulness as well. Next, I'll give you some benefits of mindfulness, everything from the brain all the way down to the body and the spirit and soul. And then I'll give you some helpful tips, because when people people begin doing mindfulness, they have some hurdles that they think that are there that aren't necessarily there. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to start your mindfulness training. And then the fun and exciting part is the mindfulness activities. We've got quite a few wonderful ones for you. And then I've got some further reading that you might enjoy, and that'll be a wrap-up. So first off, I have 3 surprising facts for you, okay? The first one isn't necessarily so surprising, that there are over 1 million ESL teachers in America. Now, basically I'm talking about K through 12, okay? The sad thing is, the average ESL teacher only stays in a position from 1 to 2 years. And in general, teachers in this country will stop teaching, 50% that is, will stop teaching in their first 5 years, which is kind of sad. Why does that happen? Well, there are all sorts of things that attribute to that, but just the sad fact out there is we have a lot of great teachers that aren't teaching, okay? Shocking fact number 2, inattentiveness, or not paying attention. There was a study done by Killingsworth and Gilbert back in 2010, and they found out that 47% of Americans don't pay attention to what they're doing. Now that 47%, that's almost 50%, right? So while they're doing things, they did this little app where they would contact somebody sort of spontaneously and say, hey, what are you doing and are you paying attention? And so almost 50% of Americans, when they did this study, were not paying attention to what they were doing, okay? Fact number 3, okay? This one is kind of sad. It's called the loneliness fact, okay? Lee and her colleagues did a study in 2018, and they found out that 76% of Americans are either moderately lonely or severely lonely. And the crazy thing is, this study was done in the beautiful city of San Diego, okay? So this wasn't a coast-to-coast study. It was basically concentrated in San Diego, for both sexes, men and women, and they found out that 76%, like I said, were lonely. I mean, to me that's shocking because it's such a beautiful city and you've got the water and the beaches and friendly people and everything. So how is it that there are that many lonely people, okay? So let's bring all these 3 together. You've got ESL teachers that could be teaching, they're great teachers and they're not. You've got people who are not paying attention and the loneliness factor. So how do we solve this huge problem? Okay, well, there isn't any pill that we can take, but I think mindfulness can really help a whole bunch. Okay, let's take a look at mindfulness and some benefits. So, what is mindfulness? Now, I'm going to give you the definition from John Kabat-Zinn, who is sort of the father of modern mindfulness. Okay, we can say that mindfulness probably started at the beginning of time with our ancestors, but John Kabat-Zinn, who taught on the East Coast, came up with this idea for a stress reduction program. And his definition of mindfulness is paying attention in a particular way. And in that particular way, it includes three things: paying attention on purpose, being in the present moment, and doing it all non-judgmentally. Okay? According to him, this kind of attention nurtures greater awareness, clarity, and acceptance of the present moment. Okay? Present moment in reality. So again, mindfulness is basically paying attention on purpose in the present moment and doing it non-judgmentally. Okay? So that's the basic concept of mindfulness, but there are also 9 different principles of mindfulness, and I'll go through those relatively quickly, but they're also important because you're going to see in the activities that we do today, these principles will be kind of interwoven in each one of those. Okay? So principle number 1 of mindfulness, I've already mentioned, is non-judging. Okay? So a lot of us, when you're meditating, the little voice comes in and you're judging. Well, with the mindfulness, you just want to meditate. If the judgment voice comes in, just let it come in and let it go. But try to not judge if you can. Okay? Number 2 is patience. Okay? Mindfulness takes a lot of work, and so patience is one of the most crucial factors and helpers that you're going to find. Okay? Number 3 is really important. It's the beginner's mind. So you want to go into your day, or you want to go into a mindfulness session, whether it's a minute or 5 minutes, with a beginner's mind, like a child. Okay? Like you're experiencing this for the first time. Right? The next one is trust. So you have to, you want to trust the practice of mindfulness, and you want to trust yourself. Okay? Even just doing a little bit goes a long way, and so you need to trust that. Okay? The next one is non-striving. Okay? So you don't necessarily feel like you have to go out and do it. Just do it. Just do mindfulness. But again, don't judge and be patient. And that's kind of the non-striving point. Okay? The next is acceptance. Okay? You just kind of have to accept where you are and go through mindfulness as best you can. Okay? And the next one is letting go. So if you've got some ideas coming in, or you got a parking ticket and you're upset, you just kind of have to let all that go and go through your moment in meditation as childlike as possible. Okay? And the last 2 is gratitude. So there's the whole idea of being grateful for mindfulness, for your body, for yourself, and taking that moment for yourself and being grateful. And the last one is generosity. Okay? So there's the mindfulness of listening and talking. So when you're listening to somebody, you're giving them a part of you. So be generous and give yourself to others. Let me just review all of those for you, because that's a lot to take in. So the first one was non-judging. Second one was patience. Okay? Third one was the beginner's mind, followed by trust and non-striving, and acceptance and letting go. Those 2 are pretty similar. And then the last 2 are gratitude and generosity. Now let me do the benefits of mindfulness. And after you hear these, you're going to say to yourself, why have I not been practicing mindfulness my entire life? Or if you are already practicing mindfulness, you're going to say to yourself, it's a good thing I'm doing it. Okay? So I'm going to give you benefits for the brain, benefits for the body, benefits for the mind, and benefits for the soul. Okay? So I'm going to kind of cover everything, but I'm only going to give you 3 of each, because there are literally hundreds out there, but I think if I just give you 3, that'll be a little more easier to digest. Okay? So the first one are the benefits for the brain. They've found through a lot of different studies that mindfulness, meditation, okay, it increases the gray matter in the brain, which is very important, because basically that's going to help with processing information and taking in nutrients and giving us energy. So it increases gray matter. Number 2 is that it increases the thickness of the hippocampus. Now that's really important, because if you studied back in your college years biology, the hippocampus is really important for memory and learning. So if mindfulness meditation is increasing the thickness of that hippocampus, it's also increasing the cells that you can learn and remember with. Okay? And the third one is it decreases the cells in the amygdala. And the amygdala is that center, fight and flight center, that causes stress and anxiety. So the amygdala, the area kind of gets decreased when you're doing meditation, and the other important areas get increased. That's really important for the brain itself. Spiritual benefits, okay? Again, John Kabat-Zinn and his colleagues and others have found out that one, mindfulness meditation increases compassion, okay, very important. Two, it increases your sense of connectedness, not only with people, but the world, with nature. So there's that feeling of universal connectedness. And the third one is it just enhances your whole idea of self-respect. So you've got compassion, connectedness, and self-respect. Okay. So the next one is cognitive benefits. Okay, or how our brain thinks. Okay. As I mentioned, it improves memory. Okay, because of the hippocampus. So meditation improves memory. It enhances concentration and attention. Okay. And the third one is it enhances your clarity of thought. Okay. So again, three really big factors. So this talk is for teachers, but if you do a little mindfulness in class, it's going to help your students as well. So psychological benefits. Again, it's kind of similar to the other ones, but it reduces stress and anxiety. Okay, very important. Two, it decreases rumination. Okay, so the whole concept you've heard of the monkey mind, where you're thinking of the same thing again and again and again. Well, mindfulness meditation decreases that substantially. And then the third one is it increases your emotional balance, or sense of balance. Okay, calmness perhaps. So you're calm. It decreases rumination and stress and anxiety. Okay, and the last one benefit, physiological. Again, there's a whole list of these, but I'll just give you three. One, it enhances your immune system. Okay, during the past year with all the craziness going on, if more people had been doing mindfulness meditation, studies have shown that they would have actually boosted their immune system, which is great. Okay. The second one is it increases your longevity, which is amazing. Okay, there are more studies coming out, but they found out that mindfulness meditation, increases your lifespan. It's amazing. Okay, and then the last one that I put there for you was it increases your pleasantness in sleep. Okay, you can fall asleep faster if you do mindfulness meditation before you lie down for bed. Okay, so I've got some tips for you. A lot of times when you get into the whole mindfulness thing, it can be a little daunting and intimidating. But what I want you to do watching this is just start small. Do it for a minute, do it for 5 minutes. Okay, but here's some tips that had helped me. What's important is doing it on a daily basis. Okay, not just once a week, but a little every day. And the truth is, you're going to find that it helps you so much with so many aspects of your life that you're going to want to do more. Okay, or like I said before, you're going to ask yourself, why did I start this now? I should have been doing it 20 years ago. Or if you've already been doing it, then you're going to say it's a great thing that I'm doing this mindfulness. Okay, so do it on a daily basis, and don't worry about the mind and thoughts. I mean, that's one of the myths of meditation, is that you're going to have an empty or blank mind. The only time you have an empty or blank mind is after you pass away, right? And even then, I'm sure you've got some residue. Okay, so the thoughts are going to come and go, and don't worry about that. Just let them come in, and then we use what's called the breath anchor, where you focus back on your breath, and the thoughts will eventually go away, and they'll come. But don't worry about that. Just take it in. Remember, letting go and acceptance were two of the principles of mindfulness. Befriend your breath. That's a big one. When you think about it, the breath has been with us since the moment we were born, and it's with us every day, but we take it for granted. So befriending the breath, walking with the breath, being aware of it, that's a big tip right there. Just constantly focusing on your breath if you can. And here's a neat little concept too, is being aware that each breath, they talk about each snowflake is unique, but it's really neat in a way too that each breath is unique. And to have that idea that the breath that I'm taking now is the first moment in my entire life that particular breath is coming in my body. So having that beginner's mind and accepting breath is a huge tip too. So those are things that I hope can help you. Now, are you ready for the activities? activity number 1, waking. Okay, so you can begin your whole mindfulness adventure the moment you wake up. Okay, again, I think we take our bodies for granted, and so the moment you wake up, you can look down and just give gratitude to your body and say thank you. There are about 164,000 people that don't wake up every morning, okay? But you woke up this morning. So tomorrow, today is probably too late, but tomorrow when you wake up, just look down at your body and give thanks, okay? You're gonna see that it's gonna make a world of difference, okay? If you stub your toe or something happens 10 minutes after that, you're not gonna get angry, you're gonna take it in stride, okay? So try that. I guarantee it's gonna work. Another waking mindfulness idea is to give gratitude for yourself. Okay, so you gave gratitude for your body for the first one. Second one, give gratitude to yourself, give gratitude to a spouse, a loved one, family member, or a friend. Okay, so those are the 2 big ones. And the third one is just simply kind of get into the whole mindfulness thing and take 3 deep breaths. So you might even still be lying there, but just while you're there, breathe in once, breathe in twice, and breathe in 3 times, and then get up. Okay? So the simple waking mindfulness are the first set of activities. So the second set of mindfulness activities are breathing focused. Okay, actually all of them are breathing focused, but these are specifically working on your breath. Okay, so the first one you may have heard before. It's called the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Okay, and it reduces stress. It calms the mind. Some people do it before sleep. I like to do it before I do writing because it really focuses my mind. Okay, and how this is done is you take a deep breath for 4 seconds, and then you hold it for 7 seconds, and then you release it slowly for 8. Okay, I'll walk you through it, and we're going to do again 4 seconds of a deep inhalation, then we're going to hold it for 7 seconds, and then slowly release it for 8. Okay, and we're gonna do 4 of those. All right, so follow me. So inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hold it for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly release for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How do you feel? Good? So let's do that a couple more times. Typically you can do this twice during the day in the beginning, but then you can do it as many times during the day as you like. Okay? You can even try doing it just once if you want. So let's do it 3 more times. Just make sure that your body is straight. Okay, so head over heart, heart over pelvis. Okay, and then just stay relaxed. Okay, get your shoulders relaxed. So I'll guide you through it again. Number 4, 7, 8. Okay, so inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly release for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good? Okay. I think that'll actually be enough. You can pause this anytime and do more of those if you like. Typically, I do 4 of those, four cycles once, and then 4 cycles again during the day. Okay, good. Now there's a variation of that where you can do 5, 5, 5. So you inhale for 5, hold it for 5, and release for 5. Okay. Now the next breath technique, mindfulness technique, is just called the alternating nostril breathing. Okay, some of you might know it as the Nadi Shuddhi. Okay, this one basically you're just using your ring finger and your thumb. Okay, so you can pull your middle finger and index finger down, and then keep your ring finger and pinky up, and your thumb up. You're using your ring finger and your thumb. Okay, and with this again, you can keep your left hand in your lap. Okay, and then just just make sure your shoulders are nice and relaxed. And then what you're doing is you're just pressing your thumb and you're closing your right nostril, okay? And then you're inhaling through your left nostril, and then releasing through the left nostril, and then switching, and you're holding the left nostril closed, and you're breathing through the right nostril, and then releasing through the right nostril, and then switching, okay? So it's just back and forth. So let's just do 3 of those together. So first inhale, close the right nostril, and then inhale with the left, and release, and switch, inhale, release, and inhale, and release. Okay. Now, I typically do that for 5 minutes each day, and you can do 5 in the morning and 5 in the evening, but it's a great cleansing breath, and again, it keeps the mind focused. It's great for keeping your blood pressure low. It's an all-around wonderful activity. So, those are your breathing techniques. Okay, the third kind of mindfulness activities are very simple. I just call them simple activities. One, that those of you that have a pet at home, you can just mindfully pet your cat or mindfully pet your dog. I don't know about you, but when I mindfully pet Gable, I can almost feel the energy of the universe, okay? If you've got a puppy, you can pet your puppy. Do the mindfulness petting with your adorable puppy. This is Gable's little brother. Okay. And a third simple action is just simply listening, okay? A lot of times we get caught up in listening to somebody with half a heart or half an ear, but mindfulness listening idea is really giving them 100% of your attention, okay? If you never notice, which is kind of interesting, if you look at somebody's ear, there's actually a heart inside of it, a little shape of a heart. And I always have that idea that listening is equal to love. And those of you, of course, teaching, listening to your student 100%, you're partaking in mindfulness right there. So the fourth mindfulness activity that I want to talk about is food, okay? If any of you have gone through a mindfulness seminar, your instructor always brings out a raisin, and you'll spend 5 or 10 or even 15 minutes sort of mindfully looking at a raisin. But in Wisconsin, I know that cranberries are a huge thing. In fact, I think Wisconsin produces 62% of the nation's cranberries. So instead of a raisin, I want to use a cranberry, okay? So mindfully, you can use this with any kind of food that you want, but mindfully eating is a very spiritually uplifting, raising higher consciousness activity as well. And what basically you're doing is if you're taking, this is a dried cranberry, but you're taking it, and there are all sorts of things you can do with it. One, you can kind of feel it around. What are the textures going through your fingers? Smell, getting a smell of it. Does it make a sound pressing it? I'm getting a squishy sound, a juicy sound here. And then finally, you put it in your mouth, and the taste of it, putting it down, closing your eyes. If you close your eyes and eat, it's going to enhance the experience tenfold. So you're getting the taste on your tongue, moving it around in your mouth. Perhaps it's eliciting memories from childhood. Okay? So you can take any of your favorite foods and spend a few minutes mindfully eating it. Okay? You probably have to do that alone. So another activity that deals with food is the mindful meal. If you've ever done the mindful seminar, you're always required to do one mindful meal. And again, this probably requires you sitting by yourself and doing it, but I would just take something simple, a drink, even a sandwich is fine, some fruit, but you just sit down and you give thanks to the food, and then you just start eating it. And again, you can go through all the senses. You can feel it, you can taste it, of course, you can listen to it, you can smell it, you can see it. But a lot of times when you think about it, a lot of times we're wolfing down food, or we're eating it without thinking about it. So this mindfulness meal, a typical meal, if it takes you 5 to 10 minutes to eat, take a mindful meal once a week or once a month, and you can easily spend 20 to 30 minutes on even just a small sandwich. I mean, I spent 2 minutes here with the cranberry, so you can spend a long time with a regular meal. Okay, And the next activity is just daily mindfulness observations, okay? So you can do observations walking, you can do them while you're driving, which hopefully you're very mindful when you're driving anyway, but you can do a mindful driving, mindful sitting, mindful biking. For us as teachers, I think it's really important to be focused and mindful the moment you enter that class. I can give examples where I remember once I entered class and there was a student who got there early, and if I wasn't mindful, I would have just gone to the board and started writing. But I looked over at him and he had a little bit of a smile on his face, and I said, "Hey, did something good happen?" And he ended up telling me this wonderful story that he had gotten an actual letter from his mom and dad, not an email or a text, but an actual letter in his mailbox, and it just made him so happy. And at that moment I thought, okay, we're going to actually switch today's lesson from what I had planned to writing a letter to the student's parents. Okay, so we actually changed the whole thing based on that student's little smile, me being aware, me being mindful of that student's smile. Okay, so the daily mindfulness is that can take in anything, while you're making your breakfast, while you're getting in the car, while you're driving to work, while you're at work, while you're in a meeting, observing everybody. So these are things that the simple recipe is just focus on your breathing while you're doing it, and be mindful at the same time. Okay, so you're going to find that's simple. It's very difficult to do actually, but it's very simple at the same time, and you're just observing. You're not judging. Remember, if we go back to our definition of mindfulness, it's paying attention, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. So if you can carry that with you and do as much of that during the day, it's going to be really helpful. And you're actually going to see it's going to decrease your stress. It's going to decrease any rumination, and all those benefits that we talked about, you're going to see those come into action. So the next activity, it's walking mindfulness, okay? And I've got 3 little activities that you can do. And the first one is just simple walking observations, which we've already talked about. So if we can come over here, let's say that I'm walking through the woods and I see this old tree and I'm just observing it. I'm just taking it in. And I'm not judging, but I'm paying attention to it. I'm in the moment and I'm taking it in 100%. But I'm doing that walking. So I might just be walking and taking in mindfulness activities. Okay, just the basic walk. Okay. The second one is a walking body scan. Okay. Now that one requires a little more effort. You've probably heard about body scans. A lot of times they say lie down and scan your body. Problem with that is most of the time you fall asleep, okay? But a walking body scan, what you're going to be doing is as you're walking, you can be mindful of your head, and right now you can do this kind of together. So be thankful, be grateful for your head, and as you're walking, then take it down to your neck, and then be aware of your head and your neck, and then how it connects to your shoulders and your arms, and then scan your chest, feel your chest, and then feel your stomach area, your pelvic area, and then your upper legs, your knees, your lower legs, and your feet, even down to your toes, and then go back up. So you say you're walking here, you're walking on the street, you're walking in the woods, and again, feel your toes, feel your feet, feel your legs, feel your pelvic area, feel your chest area, your arms, your shoulders, your neck, and your head. So you're just kind of doing a body scan as you're walking, okay? Now there's a lot that's going to be going on there because you're going to be feeling the wind through your hair, but the basic thing is you're just walking, but you're paying attention to every aspect of your body, and you're scanning that as you're walking. So it's probably going to require you to walk by yourself, okay? So that's the body scan walk. And then the mindful walk, that in itself is very complex because that's the third one, and that's just mindful walking. And what that is you're actually paying attention to every step that you take when your feet kiss the earth, okay? So you're paying attention to the heel as it comes down, the arch touching the ground, and your toes. And then the next foot, you're actually paying close attention to your heel and your arch making contact in your toes. So just taking a couple steps is going to take a long time, but you're mindfully walking and you're mindfully feeling your feet touch the ground. You can do this in your office, at school, you can do it at home, if you can do it in your backyard. You probably don't want to do it in a public place. There aren't many people here, but it might look a little odd if you're doing it in public. So this is one of those mindfulness techniques that you probably want to do, like I said, at home, in your office, or in your backyard, okay? But basically what you're doing is you're putting 100% concentrated effort into your feet, making contact and kissing the ground, okay? Very simple, but very effective, okay? So again, the mindfulness ones are just doing a regular walk and taking everything in, being mindful, and then 2, doing the body scan as you walk, and then 3, just doing the mindful walk where you're actually conscious of every step that you take. Okay, so we just have 2 more for you, short meditations and the loving kindness meditation, okay? So short meditations, you can do those standing if you like, or you can do them sitting. You can sit on a chair, or you can just sit like this. And a short mindfulness meditation is, just follow me, we'll do one together. We'll just do a couple minutes of it, but you can get the idea and do more on your own. But like I said, of any of these activities, you can pause it, do it, and lengthen it on your own, okay? So mindfulness meditation, we always just take a couple seconds to arrive, like we said before. Make sure your shoulders are nice and loose, your jaw is nice and loose, and your back is straight. You want to sit with a sense of integrity, a sense of ownership and being, okay? Usually it's better to kind of close your eyes, feel relaxed. You can keep your hands up like this if you want, or you can put them down on your knees like this, okay? Either way, whichever way makes you feel the most comfortable. I'm going to put mine up for right now. So we're going to start off and take a deep breath in and hold it, and then just slowly release, okay? And you're going to focus now simply on your breath as it comes in and goes. And at the same time, you can be mindful again with a bit of a body scan of your head and give thanks to your head, how it's been there forever, and how it connects to your neck and your shoulders. And concentrate on your breath again as it comes in and out. And then give thanks to your chest area that holds that beautiful heart of yours. And feel your arms and your hands resting on your knees. And then take your consciousness down to your sit bones, and your legs, and your feet. Give thanks to your feet for walking you everywhere. Give thanks to your body for taking you everywhere. And just be completely conscious now of your entire body sitting. And if your thoughts are moving around here and there, center them. You can let your thoughts go and center your consciousness back on your breath. So inhale nicely and release. And don't forget to keep your jaw relaxed. Sometimes we tighten our jaw. Keep your eye sockets relaxed. Smile. Smiling in meditation, I think, is a very important thing. And keep your back straight. Sometimes we have a tendency of slouching. So keep your back nice and straight. Focus on your breath again. And let it fill your entire body. And remember, as we said before, each breath you take is the first time that your body has experienced that breath. So inhale again and release. Inhale again and release. Create a smile not only on your lips, but feel a smile in your entire body. And then slowly, still conscious of your breathing and everything around you, slowly open your eyes. Okay. Thank you. And the last one that we will do is called a loving kindness meditation. And that one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to join me at a lake. I'm going to put a video on of a beautiful sunset scene, and we're going to go through the meditation called loving kindness. And if you are familiar with that, loving kindness meditations actually bring in a lot of different components, but I've simplified this just to make you the center. So it's loving kindness to you. Loving kindness meditation. Find a comfortable seat on the floor or on a chair. Close your eyes and imagine that you are here by this lake. Join me as we sit together and fill our bodies and souls with loving kindness. Close your eyes and smile. Feel your whole body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Now inhale and feel the breath enter through your nose, and then release it, sending it out into the world. Now focus on your chest area, your heart, your center of love and kindness. Feel it with warmth, joy, and compassion. Feel your heartbeat. Acknowledge that it is there for you each moment of every day, without fail. Your heart beats a new beat each moment, and each beat is new and full of life. Focus on your breath again and feel the miracle of each breath enter your body, and feel it as you release it. Now focus again on your heart and repeat this silently to yourself. May I fill myself with love. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be comfortable. May I be content. May I be at peace. Smile now. Feel how your lips respond to your smile. Connect back to your breath. Feel your breath entering your heart and then release it out into the world's heart. Again, repeat this slowly and silently to yourself. May I fill myself with love. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be comfortable. May I be content. May I be at peace. Smile now. Connect back with your breath. Feel your breath entering your heart and then release it out into the world's heart. Remind yourself, I am love, and I love myself. Breathe slowly and feel the breaths. If you can take just a few moments in the day to be kind to yourself, this means you are kind to the universe. And what a moment that is to offer bliss to yourself and the world. Slowly now, with a smile, open your eyes. So, for further reading, I've got 4 books for you. The first one is my collection of poems, which is really focused on mindfulness. And the neat thing about this collection, Father's Philosophy, is that all the proceeds go to a charity called Feeding America. Okay, so those are mindfulness poems. This is a great one. It's called The Art of Listening with a Healing Way. Okay, so it's a lot about mindful listening. Okay, the art of listening in a healing way. Okay, and then here is sort of the Bible for mindfulness. It's Wherever You Go, There You Are, and it's the seminal text by John Kabat-Zinn. Okay, and the fourth one is Inner Engineering, and this is the quote that I started the presentation with by Sadhguru. You'll find in this book. So there you have it, creating a healthy spirit, mindfulness activities and ideas for teachers. We hope that you have enjoyed this session. Feel free to watch this video as often as you want, share it with friends. You can pause any of those activities and do them on your own, okay? If you haven't, we'd be more than happy that you subscribe to the channel and like the video as well. So take care, have fun, and we really hope that you befriend your breath and keep mindfulness in your pocket.